No understanding as to why I didn't do that?
Because it's not close to the job.
That's true. So, you know what? Doubleheader with Marriott.
You made the right call.
I had a Marriott doubleheader, and it was right to call. Okay, good. All right, now we're good. Congratulations to Matthew Stafford. As Adam Schefter first reported yesterday, the NFL MVP got a nice little contract extension. I guess it was okay. Just a 1 year, $55 million extension on a 1 year deal. So now he has as much as $60 million with incentives coming in next year. Stafford is tied to the Rams for the next 2 seasons all in with $105 million remaining on his contract. Guys, what did you make of the Stafford extension? Do you think it was smart by the Rams to do it this way?
Yeah, we just want to make sure that you're happy because we know what we didn't maximize your window to contend for a title before you retire.
That's number 13 overall, drafting Alabama quarterback Ty Simpson.
Correct. That's what this is about to me.
Smalls is laughing.
It's just that simple.
I caught you flirting with someone, and so I bought you a bag?
Yeah. It's the diamond ring from Kobe. Like, that's what it is. Like, this is what I'm doing. Yo, come on.
Look
Listen,
over here.
There are very few things in life that a bag of cash can't fix.
I would agree with that.
And that's what they did. This is Lesney say, hey, Matt, you're coming off of an MVP year. We're planning for the future. We're going to use one of the 2 first-round picks that we entered the offseason with on trading for an all-pro corner, but then we're also going to use one of those first-round picks on a quarterback of the future, neither of which directly helps you. So we're going to make you feel better about that approach by giving you $60 million. Tell me I'm wrong.
It's not how I looked at it. I understand what you're saying. How I looked at it was they have the perfect succession plan now because Stafford coming off an MVP season, they go all in. He's got 2 years now. And then in year 3, or 3 years from now, the 28-29 season, Ty Simpson is the starting quarterback for the LA Rams at a price that is insanely low, probably around the same time that the contracts all across the board then hit in for some of the younger players, whether it's Puka Nacua or Jared Verse, et cetera, that they have just kind of timed this out perfectly. We'll pay the other guys when we're not paying the quarterback.
Sure, absolutely. From a planning standpoint, it works out well, but I also interpreted this the way that Cece did about a player's worth. He's the reigning MVP. He led the NFL with 4,707 passing yards, career high 46 passing touchdowns, only 8 interceptions. He's playing the best football of his life. He's playing the best in the league, and he wants to be compensated as such. This now puts him in that group among quarterbacks earning $50 or more million per season, which he has earned. So yes, if he did feel a type of way about Ty Simpson going with the 13th overall pick and the Rams planning for the future, this is a way to settle those feelings. We still appreciate you and value you as the quarterback that you are presently, and here's the money to prove it.
What's interesting now, I think, I was looking some of the numbers over, would be the Matthew Stafford legacy. Okay, so by the time this is all said and done, he'll play 7 years for the Rams, assuming he has 2 years left in his career. Now, it could be more, but let's assume he has 2 years left in his career. 12 years with Detroit. He's going to surpass Aaron Rodgers in yardage all time, which I think
I don't know if he's going to catch him with touchdowns, though.
No, he's not, but yardage specifically, if you care about that as a stat.
No, not really.
I don't either, but
yards have never been cheaper.
But
you can't defend the middle of the field in the passing game because of the defenseless receiver rule. So the yards thing doesn't matter to me as much as the wins does.
So that's where I was going. So I'd be utterly shocked if he won an MVP over the next 2 years. Like, I just don't see that happening again. I also think they're probably going to try to make sure that they pace him, get other guys involved, win differently, et cetera. So I don't see him with another MVP. I could see him with another Super Bowl win, though. What does that mean? Like, how close is he to surpassing guys that seemingly were ahead of him, that played alongside of him forever? Like, could he surpass Rodgers? Could he surpass Roethlisberger? Could he surpass Breeze? Like, these guys kind of played in the same.
Surpass Roethlisberger.
He's already surpassed Roethlisberger in your mind?
No, you're saying you couldn't with another Super Bowl run?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying Matthew Stafford is close enough where you may look at these guys that he played in generally at the same time as, that were always considered better than him, that when it's all said and done, could he actually surpass? Because I think he's closer to another Super
You
Bowl.
would perceive him to be a better quarterback than Aaron Rodgers if he won another Super Bowl.
No, I'm
The
asking.
Rodgers
I'm
case
asking.
study's interesting, though.
I think it is. I think
It's
it's
an interesting
fascinating.
case study.
I absolutely think it's fascinating. I'm not ready to jump out there and say that definitively. But I'll be damned if it ain't a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And this contract extension gives him time now, again, just to reiterate, to surpass those that have been ahead of him for the first 15 years of his career. No one would have said Matthew Stafford over Aaron Rodgers. No one would have said Matthew Stafford over Drew Brees. No one would have said Matthew Stafford over Ben Roethlisberger. And no one may still say that. But if you win another Super Bowl and you have this 2-year window that clearly the Rams are going all in on, you now have a chance to do
But
something.
you're not going all in on it, though.
See, I disagree with
You're
that.
not going
I know
all in
you
on
think
it.
because of
You're not-
Simpson you're not.
You're not, but you're not.
I think you are.
How are you?
Because you had an extra pick.
Well, here's what I'm saying. It's an extra pick, but it's if you're trying to maximize the last couple of years of Matt Stafford's career, you're not going to use the extra pick on a player that's not going to touch the field. How does that help you?
Well, so then I don't remember. Were you critical of them a year ago when they gave up their pick to the Falcons, for the next year's pick? Because the same thing could be said, and he won MVP. They did nothing to help Matthew Stafford during the 25-26 season, and he won MVP, and they played in the conference championship game. Based on the first-round pick as an act of help, right? Here is something to help you. They said, we're cool not having a
But
pick.
here's the difference, though. You stocked up on draft picks for the future. You actually drafted a player that's not going to be on the field. They didn't draft a player in the 2025 draft in the first round. And that gave them an opportunity for multiple picks. And then, oh, by the way, they had an early second-round pick. So, I hear where you're coming from with that. But this is an actual player that's on the roster that can't help Matt Stafford in any way, shape, or form. How is that going all in?
We will never know the answer to this question, but I do wonder, in a hypothetical world, if we were to turn back the clock a year ago, and I would have said to you guys before the 2025 NFL draft, the one in Green Bay, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If I would have said to you that night, before the trade was made between Atlanta and the Rams, and I would have said to you, the Rams have an offer on the table to give up the 25 first and the 26 first for Trent McDuffie, cornerback, Kansas City Chiefs. Would you make the deal if you were Les Snead? My gut is both of you would have said, you got to make that deal. They're a win-now team. Who cares about the 2 first? Go get an all-pro corner. Mm-hmm. In essence, that's what they did. They gave up the first rounder last year. They gave up the first rounder this year. They got an all-pro corner. And by the way, they also got a QB of the future stashed. That's how I look at it. Is they decided to go all in, and the price was multiple picks for an all-pro corner. And now, they're as clear of a 3-year plan as maybe any team in the league, if you think about it. They have the veteran quarterback, high price, next couple of years. They have his replacement 3 years from now, and they probably will align all the big defensive contracts that are well-earned to pop the year that Stafford's not there. They are, Smalls, I know you're not a Rams person because of all the stuff with St. Louis, your hometown team, etc. They are really well set up for the next 3 years. They can win now and win later, and very few teams, I think, can say that. Maybe one team thinks they can do that based on an extension they gave out yesterday. We'll get to that next. We're on Sportsmanlike, presented by Progressive Insurance.
Tomorrow on ESPN Radio, it's an